Outreach is super frustrating, especially when you're not seeing results. And I also know how much pressure you're putting on yourself right now to finally fix this aspect of your business. Pressure stemming from why you want to start signing high-ticket clients. And right now, there's a gap standing between you right now watching this video and you after you fix this particular area of your business and finally start signing high-ticket clients. Money, status, self-fulfillment, being able to travel, being able to take care of your friends and family. And right now you probably find outreach frustrating because you're just unable to fill that gap to get to your why. Well, stick around because I'm gonna try remove that pressure, that confusion about filling that gap and give you a simple step-by-step formula that I developed that, if followed, just works every single time when it comes to client acquisition. You see, I was able to take the hardest thing about starting an agency, consulting or coaching business, which is outreach, booking appointments, signing clients, a little bit more doable. I took this gap and broke it down into a simple step-by-step formula that, again, if you follow, will just work every single time. And this same formula helped me make thousands of dollars with my agency, book over 1,500 sales appointments, and remove the worry about how and when my next client is going to be coming in, which is the dream for most of you, right? I mean, if I'm honest, it took me ages to figure this aspect of my business, but when I did, a lot of pressure has been lifted off my shoulders. Back when I first started my journey, I mean, it was hell, like actual hell. Sending emails on emails, DMs on DMs, never getting responses, and then at the end of the day, just going to bed feeling like a spammer. Copying other people's messages, watching a bunch of YouTube videos, hiring VAs, hiring appointment setters, and just doing everything you can to get to your goal and fill that gap. And personally, I honestly just wanted to make $10,000 a month and prove to everyone around me that saw me go into this thing full time that I can do it. So this first hurdle that I had to overcome, that you probably have to overcome right now, is probably the most important step up in your business. You see, seeing that I just started my agency, I thought that I was going to be able to find that secret strategy, that shortcut by watching a bunch of YouTube videos, buying a lot of courses, copying other people's messages. And it's harder these days because all the methods that are just popping up are being pushed down our throats, making us constantly feel like we're doing something wrong and that there's always a new method that you should be following that you don't have access to right now. And this is what I believed about outreach for the longest time possible, that whatever I'm currently doing is wrong. There's a new method out there. I should jump onto that method and follow whatever that person is teaching. But then I simply realized that all I had to do was just sit down, put my head down, put some blinders on and just focus on doing the work. I had to put in the reps, I had to make mistakes, and I had to start creating that feedback loop in my head of what's working and what's not working. And that feedback loop realization was when I started developing my methodology of client acquisition, which I'm about to share with you. So listen closely. Now, this methodology is what I learned to follow every single time I want to fill up my calendar with appointments, and it helped me ignore all of the outside noise, all the other new secret strategies and methods that are being pushed down, and just focus on this one single formula that I've proven countless and countless of times. Now, I'm not going to be sharing any secret strategies, any secret messaging templates that you guys can copy. I'm simply just going to be giving you a formula, and then you can do what you want to do with that formula. So it all started when I booked my first ever sales appointment. I remember I was watching a movie with my friend. I wasn't even able to focus on the movie itself because I was constantly checking my phone, seeing if any Calendly appointment meeting book notifications would come in. And this was the time when I started my first ever cold email automated campaign targeting e-commerce brands. And I've already actually got a positive response from an e-commerce brand. So I was just waiting for that brand to book a call with me. And then it hit. I got that first meeting book notification. Now, yes, obviously I was excited about the meeting, but what I was more excited about is that something that I did actually got me the outcome that I wanted, meaning there was somewhat of a proven concept behind how I built out my cold email campaign. So after that meeting, I had no other meetings come in and I was stuck in a dry month. But then during those dry months, I actually went back to the drawing board. I know it sounds cliche, but I actually had like a mini whiteboard that I would write and plan on. And I basically just tried to take whatever I did to book that first ever meeting for myself and then start working on developing a formula for being able to book appointments for my agency. A formula that can just be replicated over and over again. And this formula is what I like to call, wait for it, the prospect prism. The prospect prism is broken down into three parts: pattern interruption, resonance, and high volume. Now, the first part of the formula is pattern interruption. You see, our brains have been able to develop different filtering processes in order to save the amount of calories it consumes to make a decision or process something that comes in from the external. Basically, it tries to optimize the information input. The harsh truth you gotta face right now is that you're not the only one reaching out to the prospect. There's hundreds, if not thousands, of other businesses providing the same solution and going after the same target market as you are. So obviously those businesses will be reaching out to those prospects as well. Demand goes down, supply keeps coming up. Basically, a lot of noise comes into the market, a lot of noise that your prospects will have to filter through. When it comes to outreach, you're basically fighting against that filtering process. The filter between all the other businesses that have similar solutions and similar offers to something completely novel that can bypass the filtering process of your prospect's brain. So if you don't stand out, or at least interrupt the pattern to bypass the filtering process of your prospect's brain, so the brain sees your outreach message as completely new information that it has to categorize. If you don't bypass it, you will simply never ever get a response. So it's important whatever message you write, it has to be unique, but not so unique where you just alienate yourself too far out. What I did was learn the basics of outreach and then try to reinvent the wheel, using basic outreach structures as frameworks and then trying to reinvent my message and my offer. Now, once you bypass that filtering process, you go into a new area of your prospect's brain where it decides how it wants to react to your message or the stimuli. If your message resonates, it will react positively. If your message doesn't resonate, it will react negatively. And to be able to resonate, you need to understand what your prospects truly care about. Now, as a lot of people think, your prospects simply don't care about you doing Facebook ads, you guaranteeing a 4x ROAS, or you guaranteeing 60 leads in the next 30 days. These are all very surface level and have just been overused, so it will be put and categorized as like useless information in your prospect's brain. So to break beneath the surface level, you need to go deeper and find out what your prospects are going to resonate with. And that means you have to research them. When it comes to research, I usually go on ChatGPT. There's a GPT available called Deep, which basically lets me do all of my market research. You want to find out their dream outcomes, their current mechanisms of getting there, problems they face with that current mechanism, and things they want to and don't want to do when getting to that outcome. And once you get all of that information, you'll be able to then craft a message or stimuli that your prospects will react positively to. Because you're not just going to be blindly shooting your shot and hoping the prospect will reply to you, but instead, you'll be shooting your shot by actually having researched the prospect. And prospects usually reply positively to you when they feel like you actually understand their current situation. If you follow this formula and you made a message that resonates and interrupt patterns, you need to now be able to negate any luck and make sure all of your outreach efforts actually work. So this last part of the formula will truly help you see the success with your outreach. And this last part is high volume. Now, when speaking about high volume, I mean really high volume. I used to think that sending 100 emails a day is a lot of volume, but it was just nowhere near enough for me to be able to make crazy money online. I knew I had to step it up, I just didn't know how to build a system that will be able to do high volumes of outreach. So what I did was hire a mentor that taught me how to be able to build a system that can send 1,500 to 2,000 emails every single day. The more you send, the bigger the probability of you being able to hit the right person at the right time. And this is the key right here. Now, to send high volume, as I said, you have to be able to build the right systems that can handle all that volume. Because if you don't, then it's fairly easy for that system to then break. I wasted thousands of dollars trying to build poor systems that just couldn't handle the volume. They would work maybe for like 2-3 weeks and then they would completely fall apart and break, and I would have to restart from scratch. So this step is really important for you to follow. So the first step of building the right systems is asking yourself these questions. What softwares can I use? Which ones are actually reputable? How many sending accounts do I need to be able to hit that volume? What is the current state of platforms that you're going to be using for outreach? For example, Google, Outlook, they have different rules, they have different spam filters. You need to be able to understand how Google and Outlook works as platforms. If you're doing outreach on LinkedIn, you got to understand how LinkedIn as a platform works. And the last question is, how can you build a lead list that is large enough for you to be able to get that volume without relying on VAs or human labor? Lay this all out in front of you, work through each question, and then take action to actually build out this system. And there's a key term here, action. Right? Just take it. If you want to speak to me one-to-one and see how you can implement the Prospect Prism methodology into your business, then maybe check the link in the description, maybe book a call. If not, then I'll see you in the future videos.